3. Scene 1.
Well, brother, what do you say to that? Isn't it as good as a dose of cassia?
Oh, a good cassia is a very good thing, sir.
Now, shall we have a little chat together?
Wait a moment, brother. I'll be right back directly.
Here, sir, you forget you cannot get about without a stick.
Aye, to be sure.
Scene 2.
Pray, do not give up the interest of your niece.
No, I shall do all in my power to forward her wishes.
We must prevent this foolish marriage which he has got into his head from taking place. And I thought to myself that it would be a good thing to introduce a doctor here, having a full understanding of our wishes, to disgust him with his Mr. Purgon and abuse his mode of treating him. But as we have nobody to act that part for us, I have decided upon playing him a trick of my own.
What way?
It is rather an absurd idea, and it may be more fortunate than good, but act your own part. Here is our man.
Scene 3.
Let me ask you, brother, above all things not to excite yourself during our conversation.
I agree.
To answer without anger to anything I meant.
Well?
And to reason together upon the business I want to discuss with you without any irritation.
Dear me, yes. What a preamble.
How is it, brother, that with all the wealth you possess, and with only one daughter, for I do not count the little one, you speak of sending her to a convent?
How is it, brother, that I am master of my family and that I can do all I think fit?
Your wife doesn't fail to advise you to get rid, in that way, of your 2 daughters, and I have no doubt, through the spirit of charity, she would be charmed to see them both good nuns.
Oh, I see. My poor wife again. It is she who does all the harm, and everybody is against her.
No, brother, let us leave that alone. She is a woman with the best intentions in the world for the good of your family, and is free from all interested motives. She expresses for you the most extraordinary tenderness, and shows towards your children an inconceivable goodness. Now, don't let us speak of her, but only of your daughter. What can be your reason for wishing to give her in marriage to that sort of a doctor?
My reason is that I wish to have a son-in-law who will suit my wants.
But it is not what your daughter requires, and we have a more suitable match for her.
Yes, but this one is more suitable for me.
But does she marry a husband for herself or for you, brother?
He must do both for her and for me, brother. And I wish to take into my family people of whom I have need.
So that, if your little girl were old enough, you would give her to an apothecary?
Oh, why not?
Is it possible that you should always be so infatuated with the apothecaries and doctors, and be so determined to be ill in spite of men and nature?
What do you mean by that, brother?
I mean, brother, that I know of no man less sick than you, and that I should be quite satisfied with a constitution no worse than yours. One great proof that you are well, and that you have a body perfectly well made, is that with all the pains you have taken, you have failed as of yet in injuring the soundness of your constitution, and that you have not died of all the medicine they have made you swallow.
And are you aware, brother, that it is these medicines which keep me in good health? Mr. Purgon says that I should go off if he were but 3 days without taking care of me.
If you're not careful, he will take such care of you that he will soon send you into the next world.
But let us reason together, brother. Don't you believe at all in medicine?
No, brother, and I do not see that it is necessary for our salvation to believe in it.
What? Do you not hold true a thing acknowledged by everybody and revered throughout all ages?
Between ourselves, far from thinking it true, I look upon it as one of the greatest follies which exist among men. And to consider things from a more philosophical point of view, I don't know of a more absurd piece of mummery, or of anything more ridiculous than a man who takes upon himself to cure another man.
Why will you not believe that a man can cure another?
A simple reason, brother, that the springs of our machines are mysteries about which men are as yet completely in the dark, and nature has put too thick a veil before our eyes for us to know anything about it.
And according to you, the doctors know nothing at all.
Oh yes, brother. Most of them have some knowledge of the best classics, can talk fine Latin, can give a Greek name to every disease, can define and distinguish them. As to curing these diseases, that's out of the question.
Still, you must agree to this. The doctors know more than others.
They know, brother, what I have told you, and that does not affect many cures. All the excellency of their art consists in pompous gibberish and in specious babbling, which gives you words instead of reasons and promises instead of results.
Still, brother, there exist men as wise and clever as you, and we see that in cases of illness, everyone has recourse to the doctor.
It is a proof of human weakness and not of the truth of their art.
Still, doctors must believe in their art since they make use of it for themselves.
It is because some of them share the popular error by which they themselves profit, while others profit by it without sharing it. Your Mr. Purgon has no wish to deceive. He has a thorough doctor from head to foot, a man who believes in his rules more than in all the demonstrations of mathematics, and who would think it a crime to question them. He sees nothing obscure in physic, nothing doubtful, nothing difficult, and through an impetuous prepossession, an obstinate confidence, a coarse common sense and reason, orders right and left, purgatives and bleeding, and hesitates at nothing. We must bear him no ill will for the harm he does to us. It is with the best intentions in the world that he will send you into the next world, and in killing you, he will do no more than he has done to his wife and children, and than he would do to himself if need be.
It is because you have spite against him. But let us come to the point. What is to be done when one is ill?
Nothing, brother.
Nothing?
Nothing. Only rest. Nature, when we leave her free, will herself greatly recover from the disorder into which she has fallen. It is our anxiety, our impatience, which does the mischief. Most men die of their remedies and not of their diseases.
Still, you must acknowledge, brother, that we can in certain things help nature.
Yes, brother, these are pure fancies with which we deceive ourselves. At all times, there have crept among men brilliant fancies in which we believe, because they flatter us, and because it would be well if they were true. When a doctor speaks to us of assisting, securing nature, of removing what is injurious to it, of giving it what is defective in, or of restoring it, and giving back to it the full exercise of its functions, when he speaks of purifying the blood, of refreshing the bowels and the brain, of correcting the spleen, of rebuilding the lungs, of renovating the liver, of fortifying the heart, of re-establishing and keeping up the natural heat, and of possessing secrets wherewith to lengthen life of many years, he repeats to you the romance of physics. But when you test the truth of what he has promised you, you find that it all ends in nothing. It is like those beautiful dreams which leave you only in the morning for the regrets of having believed in them.
Which means all the knowledge of the world is contained in your brain, and that you think you know more than all the great doctors of our age put together.
When you weigh words and actions, your great doctors are two different kinds of people. Listen to their talk, they are the cleverest people of the world. See them work, and they are the most ignorant.
Hey day, you are a great doctor, I see, and I wish that one of those gentlemen were here to take up your arguments and to check your babble.
I do not take upon myself, brother, to fight against a physic, and everyone at their own risk and peril may believe what he likes. What I say is only between ourselves, and I should have liked, in order to deliver you from the error into which you have fallen, in order to amuse you, to take you to see some of Moliere's comedies on this subject.
Your Moliere is a fine impertinent fellow with his comedies. I think it mightily pleasant of him to go and take off on his people, like the doctors.
It is not the doctors themselves that he takes off, but the absurdity of medicine.
It becomes him well, truly, to control the faculty. He's a nice simpleton and a nice impertinent fellow to laugh at consultations and prescriptions, to attack the body of physicians, and to bring on his stage such venerable people as those gentlemen.
What would you have him bring there but the different professions of men? Princes and kings are brought there every day, and they are as good a stock as your physicians.
Oh, by all the devils, if I were a physician, I would be revenged of his impertinence, and when he falls ill, I would let him die without relief. In vain would he beg and pray. I would not prescribe for him the least little bleeding, the least little injection, and I would tell him, die, die like a dog. It'll teach you to laugh at us doctors.
You are terribly angry with him.
Yes, he is an ill-advised fellow, and if the doctors are wise, they will do what I say.
He will be wiser than the doctors, for he will not go and ask their help.
So much the worse for him if he has not recourse to their remedies.
He has his reasons for not wishing to have anything to do with them. It's certain that only strong and robust constitutions can bear their remedies, in addition to the illness, and he has only enough strength for his sickness.
What absurd reasons! Yeah, brother, don't speak to me any more about that man. It makes me savage, and you will give me his complaint.
I will willingly cease, brother, and, to change the subject, allow me to tell you that because your daughter shows a slight repugnance to the match you propose, it is no reason why you should shut her up at a convent. In your choice of a son-in-law, you should not blindly follow the anger which masters you. We should yield. We should in such a matter yield to a little to the inclinations of a daughter, since it is for all her life, and the whole happiness of her married life depends on it.
4.
Brother, with your leave.
No? What are you going to do?
To take this little clyster. It will soon be done.
Are you joking? Can you not spend one moment without clysters or physic? Put it off to another time and be quiet.
Mr. Fleurant, let it be for tonight or to tomorrow morning.
What right have you to interfere? How dare you oppose yourself to the prescription of the doctors and prevent the gentleman from taking my clyster? You are a nice fellow to show such boldness.
Go, sir, go. It is easy to see that you are accustomed to speak face to face with men.
You ought not to sneer at physic and make me lose my precious time. I came here for a good prescription, and I will go and tell Mr. Purgon that I have been prevented from executing his orders, and that I have been stopped in the performance of my duty. You'll see, you'll see.
Scene 5.
Brother, you'll be the cause of some misfortune will happen here.
What a misfortune not to take a clyster prescribed by Mr. Purgon. Once more, brother, is it possible that you can't be cured of this doctor disease, that you will thus bring yourself under their remedies?
Brother, you speak like a man who is quite well, but if you were in my place, you'd soon change your way of speaking. It is easy to speak against medicine when one is in perfect health.
But what disease do you suffer from?
You will drive me to desperation. I should like you to have my disease, and then we should see if you would prate as you do. Here is Mr. Purgon.
Scene 6.
I have just heard nice news downstairs. You laugh at my prescriptions and refuse to take the remedy which I ordered.
Sir, it is not.
What daring boldness! What a strange revolt of a patient against his doctor!
It is frightful.
A clyster, which I have had the pleasure of composing myself.
It was not
Invented and made up according to all the rules of art.
He was wrong.
And which was to work a marvelous effect on the intestines.
My brother.
To send it back with contempt.
Showing Belrade.
It was he who...
Such conduct is monstrous.
So it is.
It is a fearful outrage against medicine.
Showing Belraid.
He is the cause.
A crime of high treason against the faculty, and one which cannot be too severely punished.
You are quite right.
I declare to you that I break off all intercourse with you.
But it is my brother who...
That I will have no more connection with you.
You will do quite right.
And to end all association with you, here is the deed of gift which I made to my nephew in favour of the marriage.
He tears the document and throws the pieces about furiously.
It is my brother who has done all the mischief.
To despise my cloister.
Let it be brought. I will take it directly.
I would have cured you in a very short time.
Oh, he doesn't deserve it.
I was about to cleanse your body and to clear it of its bad humours.
Ah, my brother!
And it wanted only a dozen purgatives to cleanse it entirely.
He is unworthy of your care.
But since you would not be cured by me,
It was not my fault.
since you have forsaken the obedience you owe to your doctor,
It cries for vengeance.
since you have declared yourself a rebel against the remedies I had prescribed for you,
No, certainly not.
I must now tell you that I give you up to your bad constitution, to the intemperament of your intestines, to the corruption of your body, to the acrimony of your bile, and to the feculence of your humours.
Oh, it serves you right.
Alas!
And I will have you before 4 days in an incurably state.
Ah, mercy on me.
You shall fall into bradypepsia,
Mr. Purgon!
from bradypepsia into dyspepsia,
Mr. Purgon!
from dyspepsia into apepsy,
Mr. Purgon!
from apepsy into lientry,
Mr. Purgon!
from lientry into dysentery,
Mr. Purgon!
from dysentery into dropsy,
Mr. Purgon!
and from dropsy to the deprivation of life into which your folly will bring you.
Kingston.
Oh, heaven! I am dead. Brother, you have undone me.
Why? What is the matter?
I am undone. I feel already that the faculty is avenging itself.
Really? Brother, you are crazy. Now I would not for a great deal that you should be seen acting as you are doing. Shake yourself a little, I beg. Recover yourself. And don't give way so much to your imagination.
You hear, brother, with what strange diseases he has threatened me.
What a foolish fellow you are.
He says that I shall become incurable within 4 days.
And what does it signify what he says? Is it an oracle that he has spoken? To hear you, anyone would think that Mr. Purgon holds in his hands the thread of your life, and that he has supreme authority to prolong it or cut it short as his will. Remember that the springs of your life are in yourself. And all the wrath of Mr. Purgon can do is as little towards making you die as his remedies can do to making you live. This is an opportunity, if you like to take it, of getting rid of your doctors. And if you are so constituted that you cannot do without them, it is easy for you, brother. Have another with whom you run less risk.
Ah, brother. He knows all about my constitution and the way to treat me.
I must acknowledge that you are greatly infatuated and that you look at things with stranger eyes.
Scene 8.
There is a doctor here, sir, who desires to see you.
What doctor?
A doctor of medicine.
I ask you who he is.
Oh, I don't know who he is, but he is as much like me as 2 peas. And if I was not sure that my mother was an honest woman, I should say that this is a little brother she has given me since my father's death.
Scene 9.
You are served according to your wish. One doctor leaves you, another comes to replace him.
I greatly fear that you will cause some misfortune.
Oh, are you harping on that string again?
Ah! I have on my mind all those diseases that I don't understand. There's...
Scene 10.
Allow me, sir, to come and pay my respects to you and offer you my small services for all the bleedings and purging you may require.
I am much obliged to you, sir. Toinette herself, I declare.
I beg you will excuse me one moment, sir. I forgot to give a small order to my servant.
Scene 11.
Would you not say that this is really Toinette?
It is true that the resemblance is very striking, but it is not the first time that we have seen this kind of thing, and history is full of those freaks of nature.
For my part, I am astonished and...
Scene 12.
What do you want, sir?
What?
Did you not call me?
I? No.
Oh, my ears must have tingled then.
Just stop here one moment and see how much that doctor is like you.
Ah, yes, indeed. I've plenty of time to waste. Besides, I've seen enough of him already.
Scene 13.
Had I not seen them both together, I should have believed it was one and the same person.
I have read wonderful stories about such resemblances, and we have seen in some of our day that have taken in everybody.
For my part, I should have been deceived this time and sworn that the two were but one.
Scene 14.
Sir, I beg your pardon with all my heart.
It is wonderful.
You will not take amiss, I hope, the curiosity I feel to see such an illustrious patient, and your reputation, which reaches the farthest ends of the world, must be my excuse for the liberty I am taking.
Sir, I am your servant.
I see, sir, that you are looking earnestly at me. What age do you think I am?
I should think 26 or 27 at the utmost.
I am 90 years old.
90 years old?
Yes, this is what the secrets of my art have done for me to preserve me fresh and vigorous, as you see.
Upon my word, a fine, youthful old fellow of 90.
I am an itinerant doctor and go from town to town, from province to province, from kingdom to kingdom, to seek out illustrious material for my abilities, to find patients worthy of my great attention, capable of exercising the great and noble secrets which I have discovered in medicine. I disdain to amuse myself with the small rubbish of common diseases, with the trifles of rheumatism, coughs, fevers, vapours, and headaches. I require diseases of importance, such as good non-intermittent fevers with delirium, good scarlet fevers, good plagues, good confirmed dropsies, and good pleurisy with the inflammations of the lungs. These are what I like, what I triumph in, and I wish, sir, that you had all those diseases combined, that you have been given up, despaired by all of the doctors, and at the point of death, so that they might have the pleasure of showing you that the excellency of my remedies, and the desire I have of doing you service.
I am greatly obliged to you, sir, for the kind intentions you have towards me.
Oh, let me feel your pulse. Come, beat properly, please. I will soon make you beat as you should. This pulse is trifling with me. I see that it does not know me yet. Who is your doctor?
Mr. Purgon.
Oh, that man is noted in my books among the great doctors. What does he say you are ill of?
He says it is the liver, and others say it is the spleen.
They are a pack of ignorant blockheads. You are suffering from the lungs.
The lungs?
Yes. What do you feel?
From time to time, great pains in my head.
Just so, the lungs?
At times, it seems as if I had a mist before my eyes.
The lungs.
I feel sick now and then.
The lungs.
And I feel sometimes a weariness in all my limbs.
The lungs.
Sometimes I have sharp pains in the stomach, as if I had the colic.
The lungs. Do you eat your food with appetite?
Yes, sir.
The lungs. Do you like to drink a little wine?
Yes, sir.
The lungs. You feel sleepy after your meals and willingly enjoy a nap?
Yes, sir.
The lungs, I tell you. What does your doctor order you for the food?
Yeah, he orders me soup.
Oh, ignoramus.
Fowl.
Ignoramus.
Veal.
Ignoramus.
Broth.
Ignoramus.
New-laid eggs.
Oh, ignoramus.
And at night a few prunes to relax the bowels.
Oh, ignoramus.
And above all, to drink my wine well diluted with water.
Ignorantus, ignoranta, ignorantium. You must drink your wine pure, and to thicken your blood, which is two things. You must eat good fat beef, good fat pork, good Dutch cheese, some gruel, rice puddings, chestnuts, and thin cakes. To make all a dear and congratulate your doctor is an ass. I will send you one of my own school and will come and examine you from time to time during my stay in this town.
You will oblige me greatly.
What the deuce do you want with this arm?
What?
Oh, if I were you, I should have it cut off on the spot.
Why?
Oh, don't you see that it attracts all the nourishment to itself and hinders this side from growing?
Maybe, but I have need of my arm.
You have also a right eye that I would have plucked out if I were in your place.
My right eye plucked out?
Oh, don't you see that it interferes with the other and robs it of its nourishment? Oh, believe me, I have it plucked as soon as possible. You will see all the clearer with the left eye.
There is no need to hurry.
Oh, goodbye. I'm sorry to leave you so soon, but I must assist at a grand consultation, which is to take place about a man who died yesterday.
About a man who died yesterday?
Yes, that we may consider and see what ought to have been done to cure him. Goodbye.
You know that patients do not use ceremony.
Scene 15.
Oh, my word. Doctor seems to be a very clever man.
Yes, but he goes a little too fast.
All great doctors do so.
Cut off my arm and pluck out my eye so the other may be better. I had rather that it were not better. A nice operation indeed to make me at once one-eyed and one-armed.
Scene 16.
Oh, come, I am your servant. I'm no joking humour.
What is the matter?
Oh, your doctor, forsooth, who wanted to feel my pulse.
Just imagine, and that too at 80 years of age.
Now, I say, brother, since you have quarrelled with Mr. Purgon, won't you give me leave to speak of the match which I proposed for my niece?
No, brother, I will put her in a convent since she has rebelled against me. I see plainly that there is some love business at the bottom of it all, and I have discovered a certain secret interview which they don't suspect me to know anything about.
Well, brother, and suppose there was some little inclination, where would the harm be? Would it be so criminal when it all tends to what is honourable, marriage?
Be that as it may, she will be a nun. I have made up my mind.
You intend to please somebody by so doing?
I understand what you mean. You always come back to that, and my wife is very much in your way.
Well, yes, brother, since I must speak out, it is your wife I mean. For I can no lot more bear with your infatuation about doctors than with your infatuation about your wife, and see you run headlong into every snare she lays for you.
Sir, don't talk so of mistress. She is a person against whom there is nothing to be said, a woman without deceit, and whose love master, who loves him. I can't express how much.
Just ask her all the caresses she lavishes for me.
Yes, indeed.
And all the uneasiness my sickness causes her.
Certainly.
And the care and trouble she takes about me.
Quite right. Will you let me convince you, and to show you at once how my mistress loves my master? Sir, allow me to undeceive him and to show him his mistake.
How?
My mistress will soon come back. Stretch yourself full length in this armchair and pretend to be dead. You will see what grief she will be in when I tell her the news.
Very well. I consent.
Yes, but don't leave her too long in despair, for she might die of it.
Trust me for that.
Hide yourself in the corner.
Scene 17.
Is there no danger in counterfeiting death?
No. What danger can there be? Only stretch yourself there. It will be so pleasant to put your brother to confusion. Here is my mistress. Mind you keep still.
Scene 18.
Oh, heavens! Oh, what a misfortune! What a strange accident!
What is the matter, Toinette?
Oh, madam!
What ails you?
Your husband is dead.
My husband is dead.
Alas, yes, the poor soul is gone.
Are you quite certain?
No, quite certain. Nobody knows of it yet. I was all alone here when it happened. He has just breathed his last in my arms. Here, just look at him, full length in his chair.
Heaven be praised. I am delivered from a most grievous burden. How silly of you, Toinette, to be so afflicted at his death.
Madam, I thought I ought to cry.
Oh, it is not worth the trouble. What loss is it to anybody, and what good did he do in this world? A wretch, unpleasant to everybody, with nauseous, dirty habits, always a clyster or a dose of physic in his body, always snivelling, coughing, spitting, a stupid, tedious, ill-natured fellow who was forever fatiguing people and scolding night and day at his maids and servants.
An excellent funeral orientation.
Toinette, you must help me to carry out my design, and you may depend upon it that I will make it worth your while if you serve me. Since, by good luck, nobody is aware of his death, let us put him into his bed and keep the secret until I have done what I want. There are some papers and some money I must possess myself of. It is not right that I should have passed the best years of my life with him without any kind of advantage. Come along, Toinette. First of all, let us take all the keys.
Softly.
Ah!
So, my wife, it is thus you love me?
The dead man is not dead!
I'm very glad to see how you love me, and to have heard the noble panegyric you made upon me. This is a good warning, which will make me wise for the future and prevent me from doing many things.
Well, brother, you see...
Now,
No, really, I could never have believed such a thing, but I hear your daughter coming. Place yourself as you were just now, and let us see how she will receive the news. It is not a bad thing to try, and since you have begun, you will be able by this means to know the sentiments of your family towards you.
Scene 20.
Oh, heavens, what a sad accident, what an unhappy day!
What ails you, Toinette, and why do you cry?
Alas, I have such sad news for you.
What is it?
Your father is dead.
My father is dead, Toinette.
Yes, just look at him there. He died only a moment ago of a fainting fit that came over him.
Oh, heavens! What a misfortune! What a cruel grief! Alas! Why must I lose my father, the only being left me in the world? And why should I lose him too at a time when he was angry with me? What will become of me, unhappy girl that I am? What consolation can I find so great a loss?
Scene 21.
What's the matter with you, dear Angelique, and what misfortune makes you weep?
Alas! I weep for what was most dear and most precious to me. I weep for the death of my father.
Oh, heaven, What a misfortune. What an unforeseen stroke of fortune. Alas, after I had asked your uncle to ask you in marriage, I was coming to see him in order to try my respect and entreaties to incline his heart to greet you to my wishes.
Oh, Cleante, let us talk no more of this. Let us give up all hopes of marriage. Now my father is dead, I will have nothing to do with the world, and will renounce it forever. Yes, my dear father, if I resisted your will, I will at least follow out one of your intentions, and will by that make amends for the sorrow I have caused you.
Kneeling.
Let me, father, make you this promise here, and kiss you as a proof of my repentance.
Kissing Angelique.
Ah, my daughter! Come, do not be afraid. I am not dead. Ah, you are my true flesh and blood and my real daughter. I am delighted to have discovered your good heart.
Scene 22.
Oh, what a delightful surprise! Father, since heaven has given you back up to our love, let me here throw myself at your feet to implore one favour of you. If you do not approve of what my heart feels, if you refuse to give me Cleante for a husband, I conjure you at least not to force me to marry another. It is all I have to ask of you.
Throwing himself at Argan's feet.
Ah, sir, allow your heart to be touched by her entreaties and by mine, and do not oppose our mutual love.
Father, how can you resist all this?
Will you remain insensible before such affection?
Well, let him become a doctor, and I will consent to the marriage. Yes, turn doctor, sir, and I will give you my daughter.
Very willingly, sir, if it is all that is required to become your son-in-law. I will turn doctor, apothecary also, if you like. It's not such a difficult thing after all. I would do so much more to obtain you from the fair Angelique.
But, brother, it just strikes me, why don't you turn doctor yourself? It would be much more convenient to have all you want within yourself.
Oh, quite true. That is a very good way to cure yourself. There is no disease bold enough to dare to attack the person of a doctor.
I imagine, brother, that you are laughing at me. Can I study at my age?
Study? What need is there? You're clever enough for that. There are a great many who are not a bit more clever than you are.
But one must be able to speak Latin well and know the different diseases and the remedies they require.
When you put on a cap and gown of a doctor, all that will come of itself, and you will afterwards be much more clever than you care to be.
What? We understand how to discourse upon diseases when we have that dress?
Yes! You have only to hold forth. When you have a cap and gown, any stuff becomes learned, and all rubbish good sense.
Look you, sir, a beard is something in itself. A beard is half the doctor.
Anyhow, I'm ready for everything.
Shall we have the thing done immediately?
How immediately?
Yes, in your house.
In my house?
Yes, I know a body of physicians, friends of mine, who will come presently and will perform the ceremony in your hall. It will cost you nothing.
But what can I say? What can I answer?
You'll be instructed in a few words, and they will give you in writing all you have to say. Go and dress yourself directly, and I will send for them.
Very well. Let it be done.
Scene 23.
What is it you intend to do? And what do you mean by this body of physicians?
What is it you are going to do?
To amuse ourselves a little tonight, the players have made a doctor's admission the subject of an interlude, with dances and music. I want everybody to enjoy it, and my brother to act the principal part in it.
But, uncle, it seems to me that you are making fun of my father.
But, niece, it is not making too much fun of him to fall in with his fancies. We may each of us take part in ourselves, and thus perform the comedy of each other's amusement. Carnival time authorised it. Let us go quickly and get everything ready.
Do you consent to it?
Yes, since my uncle takes the lead.
Ends of Act 3 and end of play.